What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Gotham Knights will set up WB Montreal's next game. Now, we've technically had a version of this before, and we did this a long time ago, probably over a year ago, where we talked about, we've said, will it lead into Gotham Knights 2, stuff like that. And look, that's definitely possible. I think, especially when you have a team like WB Montreal, where they do have two teams inside them, right? When you finish Gotham Knights, you very well could set up another game in the Gotham Knights universe. But the question is now, especially with the rumors flying of their second game, would they directly set up? And a couple people have pitched this before. Several people in the comments, even some people reached out to me on Twitter and said it, right? Will they almost end the game, leaving it open, maybe for Gotham Knights 2, but also so that they can do other cooperative-like games in the universe, but that are different characters? Can you set up a Teen Titans game directly from Gotham Knights? Well, kinda. You have Robin right there, and he's young, you know what I mean? So you could do something like that. Could you set up, now again, people are saying the Superman stuff. Now, just because it's not a Superman game doesn't mean Superman couldn't be in it, right? It's not a Superman solo game. If it's a Superman where you can play as multiple characters, Supergirl, Superman, so on, then yeah, maybe you could set up. In fact, I mentioned that. Maybe we know the Justice League exists in Gotham Knights, right? Could you do that? So I want to, go a little bit deeper into that as this video goes on, but really quickly first, make sure if you haven't already, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, leave a like would definitely help this video out. And final thing, if you guys want to support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, we do have both. We have two different tiers, pretty darn cheap, and you get exclusive stuff for each of them. Patreon, the link's in the description. The join button is obviously next to the subscribe button. And again, they're the exact same thing. They're just in two separate spots for you guys to decide if you wanted to do it, okay? Would appreciate it, and let's move on into the video. So, Teen Titans, again, is the thing that jumps out to me. I really want it. I know people have pitched TMNT, and the reason I'll say, we have to kind of discuss a little bit again of what the second game would be is so we can discuss, how would the first game lead into it, right? So if you did a Superman-centric game where it's just all of these like godlike figures, right? You have to figure out a way to introduce that. If you follow this through, right? You have to find a way of introducing that somewhere in Gotham Knights. See, it's tough. Obviously, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can, not do it at all. Gotham Knights could end, and you could leave the door open for a second game. You could just make it a one-off. You could, and again, or you could, technically, there's a couple more. You could do a second game, or you could leave it open for a second game, and open up a possibility of more. Now, again, like I said, just about a minute ago, is that we know the Justice League is in Gotham Knights. So to me, the easiest one to set up would probably be a Justice League game. Now, do I think it's possible? Yeah. Do I think it's likely? Very much unlikely. You know what I mean? For the simple fact, and I've said it before, right? Rocksteady and Suicide Squad kill a Justice League pretty much kills two birds with one stone, and I don't say that as necessarily, it depends how the game is, right? I don't say it necessarily as a good thing, because you have both, and I like the Suicide Squad, and I like a game with them. I also like the Justice League, and I'd also like a game with them, but I don't know if I want a game like what they're doing and where you face off against each other. Now, again, I'm very excited for that game. I want to see it in action before I, get too much excited or too much, critical of it, right? I got to see something about it to kind of form an opinion of first. So it's a lot of wait and see, but, again, that's why I say it's not necessarily a positive. It's also not necessarily a negative that they're doing it, but I do think they knock out the idea of doing a Justice League game. I don't think you do a Justice League game now because they're literally a group that is the enemy of that game. It's possible you could do your own thing, and because you're in separate universes, which is obviously confirmed, right? That's in the Arkham world, and this is or Gotham Knights is in a separate one. Sure, I mean, and again, we kind of know that because the Justice League is in Gotham Knights, kind of behind the scenes. So they could absolutely do it. Teen Titans would be the next thing I think that stands out really well, where it's you have their founding member, right, their main man, their leader, you have him right there kind of coming into his own in Gotham Knights. So I feel like there's definitely possibilities. I think, one thing that I think is going to be for sure is much like the Arkham games too, there'll probably be lots of Easter eggs and lots of nods and hints in the way that maybe if you want to take them and get serious with them, you can, but you probably shouldn't, right? Because they may not amount to anything. I think those things are all going to be in Gotham Knights. And again, that leaves the door open for them to kind of fake us out, but it can also leave the door open for them leaving kind of the tracks, in which they've done. And remember, Arkham Asylum had the it had like the blueprints of Arkham City, right? It kind of led people along to Arkham City. So like these things are somewhat planned, and you can kind of notice them if you look deep enough in the previous game. I mean, I'm sure that's something like that could potentially happen in Gotham Knights. I don't know, though. I don't know if they would want to kind of stay in their own lane and do their own thing and then let the second team do theirs and just kind of have two separate... It depends on... Well, like, they talk about a new IP. That's what the second game is, right? It's a new franchise. So, to me... Can you have a new franchise? Can you say that? Can you say a new IP in the world of Gotham Knights, even though like it's a new group? I don't know if you can say that. That'd be like saying like a new Uncharted game. It's a new IP because it's brand new characters, brand new everything, but it's in the Uncharted world. In fact, it's but let's not even say, well, it's his daughter and then it's other people that we've never seen before, or it's like his great nephew that we've never seen before in the game, and that's who we play as. Do you call that a new IP though? See, that's something that, as I pitched this kind of in my head, and as I wrote back to some people in comments and on Twitter and stuff, I never really thought about that, right? If you say a new IP, like Teen Titans, that's a new IP. Superman would be a new IP. All that stuff is true. But if you put it in the world of Gotham Knights, especially Teen Titans, if Robin, say that Robin is the same Robin in Teen Titans, like I don't think that works actually, because now you're in an established, you literally are in a franchise. You're just kind of like they're not spin-off characters, but that's kind of what you would call them in terms of like that game. So it is weird, it is interesting. I think I don't know, I feel like there'll definitely be nods to it. I feel like if I had to predict it right now, I would say it'll be one of those fun little things where they kind of hint at it in the game, not through like, oh, wink wink, here's where we're going next, wink wink, not something so obvious, something that we'll be able to see in the game. I'm sure eagle-eyed people will be able to find it, and then it'll just turn out to end up happening. You know what I mean? So I really feel like the odds of it setting up a Gotham Knights 2 are a lot higher than them setting up a Gotham Knights 2 and another, and the game that the other team is working on. I would say that. So let me know in the comments below, though, guys. I could very well be wrong, and you guys know I've been wrong before in my life. So let me know what you think. Do you think it'll set up Gotham Knights 2? Do you think it'll set up, a spin-off game, whether it's Justice League or Teen Titans or whatever? Let me know. As always, again, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, leave a like on this video. Would definitely help it out. Again, Patreon and YouTube memberships, if you guys want to support us there, would be very, very grateful. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.